Last night, the Minnesota Vikings suffered a disappointing loss to the Philadelphia Eagles, and you can see the score above me, 34-28. Had a chance at the end to pull away and potentially win that one. Yes, there was only like 7 seconds or whatever the case was, so not really a chance, but still something, anything can happen. But also, after the game, and many of you have already heard this, I'm very disappointed in our fan base. Very, very disappointed in our fan base. Alexander Mattison went home after the game. I'm not sure how far he got after the game. I'm sure these messages were there. And decided to go on Instagram because his DMs were getting blown up. So he went and took a gander at those DMs. And they weren't good. The NFL has released statements. The Minnesota Vikings have released statements. I'm about to give mine. Okay? Because there's no room for any of that. Alexander Mattison was called a certain name multiple times by multiple people, was told to go kill himself because of the game he had. And I gotta say, you guys are a bunch of clowns. A bunch of scumbags. Absolutely ridiculous. There's no room for that in the NFL. There's no room for that, period, in the world we live in today. Be better. Our fan base looked terrible because of that. And it wasn't all of us. There's still some of you out there that respect the game, respect the players, and don't really care what's going on, and are just excited that football's back. And then there's some of you that, think it's up to you to make a statement. And that statement is utterly embarrassing. Our fan base has been embarrassed now. Okay? Tarnished, if you will. At least for the rest of this season. Nobody will forget this. All because we started 0-2. We go 0-2 to start the season, and our fan base completely turns into a bunch of clowns. And I'm sick of it. Grow up. If you actually watched the game, it was not Madison's fault at all. Yeah, he had a fumble. Okay. There was a lot of fumbles. But our offensive line is a problem. They can't block. They don't create these holes for Madison to run through. It's not his problem. What happened to Ty Chandler? Same exact scenario. Didn't gain a single yard. Really didn't do much. The running game is non-existent because of our offensive line. Those comments that were made are pure stupidity. There's no room for it, and it pisses me off. From here on out, if there's any of that, even in my live chats, not even friendly banter. Okay, friendly banter is welcome. But if there's more than that going on, and there's hate against another team, you will be blocked, or you will be hidden from the channel. I have had it. That includes moderators. I don't care who you are. I am sick and tired of it. Our fan base has been embarrassed. Now let's get to the game. Enough of it. Grow up. Last night was disappointing. A lot of turnovers. Okay? We lost because of the turnover battle. Plain and simple. 4 turnovers, I believe it was. Nobody could catch the ball. Nobody had hands. Alexander Mattison fumbled. I believe Theo Jackson, our punt returner, he fumbled or Brandon Powell, he fumbled on a massive punt return, would have put us in great field position, potentially possible, or a potential possibility to score a touchdown in that drive. Justin Jefferson fumbled it in the end zone over the pylon, so it was a touchback. It was Eagles ball. He already said it's his fault. He was patting his chest. He's like, I'm sorry, guys, that will never happen again. He understands what he did wrong, okay? So he's going to fix that. Turnovers are what lost that game last night. Too many of them. Can't have it. Our offense didn't look great. We have some explosivity in our offense. We just got to find a way to bring it out more often. But again, that relies solely on what the offensive line can do. And really, the last 2 weeks, they haven't been able to do anything. Our offensive line is horrible. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah doesn't know what he's doing. Plain and simple. If he did, he would have signed an offensive lineman this morning. I heard that Lyle Collins is still available. There's still others available as well. Go trade for something. Fix the offensive line. If we want to win games, that is what needs to happen. Too many turnovers. Offensive line gives Kirk Cousins no time to pass the ball and creates no holes for Alexander Mattison to run through. I think he's doing okay. I think he's doing the only thing he can do, and the most of it. He's given 100%. There's just nowhere to run. There's nowhere to go because our offensive line is horrible. Justin Jefferson still balled out, found a way to get 100 yards. Jordan Addison is going to quietly have 800 yards receiving this year. Guaranteed. Okay, because he finds a way to make these explosive plays. You're not really going to see him too much. Like, you're going to see him get the ball. But I think it's going to be more on those Those bigger plays where all eyes are on Jefferson, nobody's really focusing on Addison. Bam, Kirk hits it over the top, touchdown Addison. That's what happened last night. I believe it was like a 53 to 60-yard touchdown pass from Kirk Cousins to Jordan Addison. It was absolutely phenomenal. But if we look at that first quarter, Theo Jackson could have had an interception on Devontae Smith. He didn't turn his head around. Too many turnovers in that first quarter. We had a great starting drive in that second quarter where it resulted in a touchdown for TJ Hawkinson. He's going to be utilized a little bit more, I think, going forward because of how bad our offensive line performance has been. A lot of quick little throws. It's really hard to go deep at this point in time, especially because we did lose our backup left tackle in Oli Udoh for the rest of the season with the quadriceps injury. Christian Darrisaw is still a little bit banged up. Garrett Bradbury's still rehabbing from his back injury. Who knows when he's going to be in. So we're a little banged up on the offensive line, and it's not looking good. So it's going to be a lot of short passes these next couple weeks until those guys get ready to rock and roll and are 100% healthy. Then you go to that second half. Look, the Eagles had the ball for, I think, 40 minutes, maybe 40-plus minutes of the game. 2/3 of the game, the Eagles had the ball. That's a problem. That is a massive problem. We let DeAndre Swift, who was booty cheeks, have the best game of his career in his hometown, in his home state. Can't have it. We couldn't stop the run to save our lives. Our defensive line has to be better. Our blitz packages have to be better. We have to fill the gaps. We have to find a way to stop the run. Every time DeAndre Swift or Boston Scott or Rashad Penny ran the ball, they got 4 to 5 yards every single carry. If you watch the game, you've seen that. So we have to find a way to stop the run. Okay, we had no stamina as soon as the second half hit or at the end of the third quarter. You could tell Harrison Phillips was a little tired. Other players were really tired as well. It just looked like we weren't in shape or in game shape at all. So we have to fix that a little bit. KJ Osborne, he's okay. He'll figure it out. But catch the ball, man. You had 2 opportunities where the ball was in your hand and you let it slip away. Can't have it. He knows that. He understands it. I believe he'll get better and he'll improve. A lot of mistakes, too many turnovers, and the most important point: fix the offensive line, Kwesi, please. And if you don't want to fix the offensive line, I hate saying this right now, tank for Caleb. Even though that's not going to help, because we still won't have an offensive line to protect him. So again, very disappointed in the Minnesota Vikings loss. We can do better, and super, super disappointed in our fan base, who is now embarrassed us all. Embarrass us all. You clowns can stay behind the computer and continue to type away because you know darn well they would never say that to Alexander Madison's face. They wouldn't. And we all know that. And even if you're watching and you're somebody who said the exact same thing, you wouldn't either. So overall, just very disappointed. We'll come back better, I hope, week 3. Our fan base needs to be better. We have to come together, man. There's no room for any of that nonsense. So let's move forward to next week. We got the Chargers at home. Hopefully we can get a dub. Anyways, leave a comment underneath. Also drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It would be much, much appreciated. Have a great rest of your weekend, folks. And Skol Vikes.